time we got sucker punched, every time we got collar dragged, every time we got somebody coming up, throwing over the table or trying to tackle someone, it used to be...
They're throwing up all over the table. Okay. Not a huge fan of Crowder. He's cringe core, but it was Crowder. That's the name. I forgot it. Crowder, fucking Alex Stein, primetime Alex Stein, and rest in peace Charlie Kirk, who were the main right-wing campus debaters. So clearly, Crowder and Stein aren't going to be doing that anymore. Because, I mean, I wouldn't. It's pretty big balls if they do, just because. All the murderers. Let's do this. Yes, there's a little fruit fly flying around. I'm gonna fucking murder it soon. Get it. Okay, yeah, I wanted to turn this up. What does that sound like? Where are we at? What are the volumes? Where's the levels at?
Hey,
let's listen to what this guy's got to say.
Right,
this was released 4 hours ago.
As far as nonviolence. Now, the second someone raises their voice or comes in hot, and they are told to knock it off because they're presenting a threat, I want righteous, lawful violence to replace mercy and grace. This guy's
a fucking tool.
Where that is what existed before. These people are not afraid of you. They believe that they can act with complete impunity, and it doesn't need to get to the point of Charlie Kirk for another person or another person down the line. It doesn't end until they're afraid enough to keep their head down. It would be like you in your cargo shorts, I don't know, Tommy Bahama shirt, taking on somebody in a flak jacket, a riot helmet, in a Panzer, in a tank. They are completely bulletproof, and you are exposed when you decide that, hey, we're going to just calm things down. We're going to cool temperatures, and they are there to commit an act of violence. It is legal. You do not have to retreat. You have the right to protect you, your home, your vehicle, your person, your family.
Test.
And I was thinking about this. There have been quite a few instances over the years where many people here have been the targets of violence, and we didn't react. I don't think you would blame anyone now, just like I wouldn't blame you.
We'll see how that works.
What I mean is treating these people, whether it's a Charlie Kirk type situation where you're out and you're expressing an opinion and it's a video, or you're at a rally, or you're at a conference, or you're in your whatever it could be. You could be in a general social setting where, because you know it's politically charged, you've applied a different standard. Meaning, if someone came up to me or to you and your family at a dinner table and started screaming that you were a Nazi and a fascist and threw the glass at you, is there any world in which you would do anything other than beat them until the threat was eliminated? Tackle them? Get the authorities?
That's the point.
That's what I'm advocating for. Lawful protection of you and your own. Because I have sat across from, at this point, hundreds of people.
Bro, jokes are ridiculous. And you're a bad husband. You're reportedly a bad husband. What just you debates? Oh yeah, that's what Alex Stein's up to. In a little while. Alex Stein. Hey guys, I'm kind of retarded for more antagonistic. I'm a little more antagonistic than Charlie Kirk is. I'm not fucking dead. Oh no, he did.
In Dallas, Texas. There's one man who actually went to or tried to go to intervene and be an adult and do what was actually necessary. That's Alex Stein, number 99. I think I got that right. It's hilarious. Alex, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Charlie, you're a legend. Oh my gosh, you're calling me 99. I feel like I made it. You know, the man, the myth, the legend, Charlie. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Your reputation precedes you. The thing when you went to the school board meeting in Dallas, it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time. And so you went to this drag show. They didn't let you in, so they're obviously, I don't know, homophobic or something. Like, walk us through this.
Prime people.
Well, listen, this is the thing about this drag show. And, you know, in our culture right now, they're doing the drag queen story time at the public library. Now, that's disgusting. That's terrible, Charlie. But at least... My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
I guess not.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. I'm not trying to act like a mess. I'm just emotionally really upset right now, obviously. Here's what happened. And I just feel so bad for Charlie and his family. I never felt so much pain for another person other than like a family member, and I just feel so bad right now. And I'm not gonna just sit here and cry. I gotta compose myself. But just watching that, and people don't understand that Charlie Kirk could have canceled me a million times. A million times. I did some very boneheaded things, and he always stuck with me. Even when I was not representing Turning Point in the best light. And I know everybody's going through it right now. Everybody's very in a lot of pain, especially seeing something as graphic and as horrible as what we all witnessed. But I am having trouble right now finding anything positive about this situation, because I know there's people out there, and it's very true that Charlie's legacy will live on forever, but the world is significantly worse today without Charlie Kirk than it was yesterday. And Charlie had my back so much, and he didn't have any motivation other than he actually believed in the First Amendment. He believed in the Second Amendment. He believed in the whole entire Constitution. And the problem with society and the world that we live in is that we live in such a sick, disgusting world that a person that is truly good, like Charlie Kirk, gets taken out. Because everybody that I meet in politics has some sort of skeleton in their closet, is, you know, whatever. Nobody's perfect. But the closest thing to perfection when it comes to a human being and following God's commandments and defending the Constitution, there's no better example in the entire universe than Charlie Kirk. And when you are perfect like that, and when you don't have skeletons in your closet, and you cannot be blackmailed, they will publicly execute you in front of thousands of people, and they will make you scared on purpose. And obviously, I'm not going to get into any of the conspiracy surrounding what's going on with Charlie's horrible, horrific murder. But there's a lot of questions that have not been answered that we're all struggling with. And I'm so frustrated with just this entire situation, because I, once again, like I was saying earlier, cannot find a silver lining whatsoever. When you're a 31-year-old man, father, that has accomplished more than 99.9% of the population, and you're brutally murdered in front of your wife and 2 kids, that is a sick world that not even the most sinister Hollywood scriptwriter would write and produce. And that's the current reality in which we live in, and nothing feels real. Me sitting here and saying Charlie Kirk is dead does not feel real. Doesn't feel real at all. And everything with Turning Point is, you know, obviously on hiatus, and that's really bad for society. And that's the problem, that all the ignorant people on the internet that are celebrating this, they're ignorant idiots, and their opinion does not matter. But they don't understand the ripple effect that this is going to have on society, Charlie Kirk would have been president of the United States of America. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. And he was brutally murdered in front of the whole entire world. And we don't have any answers. And the biggest conservative organization in the world has taken an incredible hit. And America has taken an incredible hit. And I have zero faith in the federal government or any of our agencies and even getting justice for this, because it's unjustifiable. You can't justify this. There's no corporal punishment. None of that matters. We literally lost the most influential non-politician in the world. And you see the outpouring support for Charlie. Not one person has anything negative to say. Because like me, anytime they had a business dealing, personal dealing, fan encounter with Charlie, he was incredibly respectful. And that's why I'm a little sad, because not trying to make it about me, but I go and I do put myself in situations where if somebody heard, oh, Alex Stein got shot at a college event, people would be upset, but they'd be like, well, maybe he had it coming to him. Charlie Kirk had nothing coming to him. He only debated with respect in class. And that is another reason why he's no longer here. Because most human beings don't have the self-control and the orator skills that Charlie has. And he was a threat. And who he was a threat to, I don't know. But Charlie never did anything wrong to anybody. To whoever took him out because they disagreed with his message. And nobody should die for having a disagreement on a particular political viewpoint. And a lot of what happened in the response to this is meant to upset us. And so it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to be upset. That's normal. But that was the whole plan, was to demoralize us and make us fight one another. And there's something going on that is not good in the world. And we live in a dark, evil world where being truly good like Charlie makes you a target for the most evil things. Literally, I'm not even being facetious. Like, this was satanic and demonic to have this happen in front of the world, in front of his family. I just can't even comprehend that this is real. And, you know, thinking of Charlie, you know, like, I want to play a video of some of our funny encounters, but I just don't even know if it particularly feels right, because, you know, I emulate Charlie. You know, I'm older than Charlie. He's younger than me, but I look up to Charlie. And he's, once again, a lot of people, when you're going around college campuses calling yourself Charlie Kirk and acting like, you know, an idiot, a lot of people get mad about that. Charlie had a sense of humor. Charlie was actually cool and funny. He was authentic when nobody else is. And he gave me so many chances for no reason. And I know I keep repeating that. I don't even know why. I don't even know why Charlie even gave me chances. But I mean, I do know why, because Charlie's a good person, because he's a good human being. That's why, because he actually defends the Constitution. I do know, but he didn't have to do it. Like, he just didn't have to do it. But he actually wanted me to grow and become more well-known. And a lot of people don't even realize it was actually Charlie Kirk that kind of motivated me to do what I do today, because, I mean, it makes me so sad to think about. So, you know, I was going through, like, really bad time, obviously, after my mom passed away. And I was going to city council meetings, and I was just like, I mean, some of them were getting some views and stuff, not that many views, maybe 10, 20,000 views, which is good for me. I was pumped at the time. But I went and I did this heartbeat bill speech where I said, you know, I'm so mad that you guys are, you know, outlawing abortion basically because it's, you know, it's the most foolproof form of contraception, and you know, I don't want a bunch of baby mamas. And I was like, just saying all these repugnant things that a pro-choicer says, you know, clump of cells, like all of the keywords, and it got shared. The first person that made it go viral was Charlie. Charlie shared it on one of his, I think it was like Rumble at first, or maybe it was YouTube, I forget, but I remember that popped off. And I was like, what the hell? This on Charlie Kirk's account, I got 1 million views. I was like, what? And that's what set off the light bulb in my head. I'm like, man, I need to kind of do this like kind of culture jam, kind of like pretend that I'm the crazy person that I'm trying to make fun of. And so if it wasn't for Charlie, even him not even realizing just the effect that he had by sharing my content and letting his audience see who I was before he even knew who I was instrumental in the little bit of success that I've had. And Charlie probably doesn't even know that. And then, you know, he decides to say, hey, Alex, I'm going to let you be a, you know, Turning Point influencer. I forget what it was called. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I was so excited to be a part of Turning Point. And I had some controversial people on my podcast, and very easily he could have canceled me for that. And I told him I didn't know about the previous heat, and Charlie believed me, and he gave me a second chance when he did not have to. And for that, I was so thankful. And then, you know, fast forward 2-3 years later, I'm, you know, planning on going on my second college tour for Turning Point this semester, which is obviously not going to happen, but I will go speak at a college again. I don't know when that will be, but I'm not going to let this stop me, because I know that if Charlie would have lived, which we all were praying for him to live, Charlie would go back to a college campus, because Charlie was fearless, he was bold, and I want to emulate that boldness, so I'm not going to be in fear, and I'm not going to be scared to go to a college campus. But that's obviously, you know, down the road. That's not right now, and yeah, I'm just like filled with so many emotions. Just like 1 second it's frustration because of the situation. The second I'm like just hurt for everybody that's going through this very traumatic event that happened on the day before September 11th, which is just insane. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But none of this makes a lot of sense, because when you're Charlie Kirk and you're actually respectful, why would somebody want to hurt you when Charlie's literally never hurt anybody and never would? And like, I don't understand how the world works sometimes and why the good ones get taken out. Like, I don't know how that is God's plan. I do think it is God's plan, but I just don't know why. I can't comprehend a guy that gives his life for the Lord and something so terrible happens. I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't. And I don't know if we'll ever get any closure. I know that I will never get any closure, because Charlie helped me out, but in person, I think we only had probably about 5 conversations. But we, had some text messages and we talked through intermediaries a lot, actually, through Turning Point. But I just can't believe that I'm never going to get to talk to that guy again, and I owe him so much. I just can't believe it. It just doesn't feel real. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. I know you guys are obviously feeling, horrible. I will say this though, I think there's like a level of, we should go after the people that have, tarnishing Charlie's name, but Charlie wouldn't do that. Like, Charlie wasn't as vindictive as that. Like, so I don't know, Charlie wouldn't want us to go start a race war. That's the last thing Charlie would want to do. He'd want to talk it out. He would want to talk it out. But there are people that don't want to talk it out. And that's why we all need to protect ourselves. The world we live in is not the world that our parents grew up in. It's not the world that our parents' parents grew up in. It's a very dark place. The internet has ruined humanity, probably for good. And we probably are at an inflection point where there's no going back. And this will have a ripple effect that we will not even be able to quantify, because it will be so great. It will be so big that we have no idea the repercussions. The fact that Charlie would have been the president one day, and now that's not going to happen, it changes the entire course of history. And that's not, I'm not being dramatic, that's just a fact. That the world is much worse off without Charlie Kirk. And yes, his legacy will live on, but just know that nothing is better today. And I know that, like, a lot of people right now are just like me. They're really frustrated. They're like, what? Why haven't we caught the killer? How did he do this? Those answers, I don't know if we're ever going to get. And I'm not going to just sit here and talk about negative stuff. I'm just trying to be real right now. I can't be anything but real. Like, I just don't have a lot of faith that we're going to get the answers that we deserve. So, yes, I just owe Charlie so much. I would not even probably have, as big of a following or anything without him. And the fact that he let me go speak at those campuses, not trying to make it about me, but you guys just don't understand how good of a person Charlie is. Like, I wish that I could be like Charlie, so much so that I literally emulate him as a character playing Charlie Kirk. Like, what is it? What's the sincerest form? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Like, literally, that's what I was trying to do. Because he was so successful, he created a blueprint and a style that really can't be emulated. Because he has a motor and engine inside of his body that could not be stopped, that I don't have, and that nobody has. And for all of the people that are saying, oh, well, it's time for other people to step up and fill Charlie's void will never be filled by anybody, because nobody will come close to being as significantly culturally relevant as Charlie was at his age. Nobody. Nobody. And the world and our country is a weaker country now without people like Charlie Kirk defending our Constitution, our liberties, our ability to speak freely is literally under attack. And Charlie was the best fighter for the First Amendment by going to colleges, inviting literally anybody. Do you realize how hard that is? To just, these people can pick any topic and they're going to go there and they're going to try to stump Charlie Kirk. He sets himself up to fail, and he always succeeds. You have no idea how challenging that is, just having anybody come up. And yes, a lot of people that come up there, is not that smart, but trust me, Charlie has debated a lot of very smart people, and he's come out on top. Not made logical arguments that are hard to debate, and Charlie always found a way. And he would want us to continue carrying on his legacy. There's no doubt about that. But I know that I can't do that. I know that nobody can do that, because Charlie's legacy was one of one. He's just such a unique guy that it's just, he's irreplaceable. So I don't know how much we should show, but I do want to, I guess, I already got emotional. Like, I am just such a wreck right now. And I feel like I'm going to get even more emotional if we play that video. But I mean, I guess let's play it, and you guys can see they edited it a little.
Which one?
Is that the first one where
the one where the kid
RNC
thought mistook you?
Yes,
yeah, that's SOT 1.
Let's play SOT 1.
Charlie. So good to see you.
You know we get mixed up all the time.
Everybody calls me the fake Charlie Kirk, you know?
How you doing, young man?
Dude, I thought you were Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Charlie Kirk?
Yes. Why do you think I have this crew?
Are you actually?
Yes, let's take a selfie. What do you mean? Who do you think I am?
You're Charlie Kirk?
Yes, Turning Point USA.
Yo! Whoa, it's Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk is here.
Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. Hold on. Are you actually Charlie Kirk?
I'm actually Charlie Kirk. Yes, dude, I'm Charlie.
Really?
Yes, dude, take a selfie. How do you not know this? Why do I have a camera crew, dude? I'm obviously Charlie. Like, gosh, dude, it's bugging me that I'm this well known.
Yeah,
Charlie Kirk, Turning Point. UTA.
Fake Charlie Kirk, you know? I'm speaking at University of Nevada, Reno, and University of Washington in Seattle, all because of you.
Hilariously, I'm speaking at Nevada, Reno, so we can kind of like...
I know, I'm trying to follow. I'm the fake Charlie Kirk. I follow you around,
Who's
dude.
actually speaking, right?
Yeah.
I could go like...
We need to do a sketch like that.
So I could go do the Alex Stein Day?
Yeah, or
you
no,
could
not even that, but you need to just like mix me in, just, and then you could just say I couldn't make it, and then you really come out. I don't know, tell Andrew to text me. Yeah, that one guy really thought I was Adam Israel Palace. He's like, you're Charlie Kirk. I'm like, yes, I'm the dollar store version. All right, well, just want to say hey. Thanks, man. I know you're on the grind. Thanks, Charlie.
Charlie thought it was funny. He thought that video was funny. He didn't care at all. He didn't have any hard feelings. Like, I'm just so sad. So sad. Everybody's so sad. Everybody is. Everybody should be sad. Everybody should be sad. Everybody should be really, 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 really sad. And if you're not, you just, you know, it is what it is. You're not dialed into what's going on in the world. And, you know, there's a saying, ignorance is bliss. And sometimes I kind of do wish. It's like the movie The Matrix. I think it's like Cyrus. I forget which character. Like he decides, Cypher, whatever, Cypher. Yeah, sorry, I get it mixed up, Cypher. Decides to plug back into the Matrix because he wants to, you know, he doesn't want to fight the bots. Like, you know, they don't even have food. They're like in, you know, a ship, and, you know, they can't even like poop right. He's like, no, I'd rather plug back into the Matrix and have a thick steak and have sex and, you know, just feel life even though it's fake. And that's kind of like where we're at right now. Like, the world is so dark and so hard to comprehend that it would almost be nice to be ignorant so that you wouldn't comprehend how terrible things really are. But that's not really how it should be. I don't really think that, but I just go through a lot of emotions in my head, and I'm like, you know, how do I make this sadness go away? And it doesn't seem like it will go away for a while. And obviously, I've had a lot of traumatic things happen to me in the last few years, losing my mother and losing my best friend, Hank Keller. And then even before all that, my best friend at the time, Clark Gable, our co-worker, he was really close. So I have sadly gotten desensitized to losing people that I love, but seeing what we saw yesterday was the most graphic video I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen all kinds of terror videos. I've seen all kinds of Ukraine war videos. I've seen the Luigi Mangione video. I've seen a lot of basis of death videos, you would classify them as. And what we saw yesterday was the most graphic video I've ever seen in my life. And I just can't comprehend it. I keep using that word, but I just still can't wrap my head around it and all the unanswered questions. And it's driving me it's making me really sad. Making me really sad. And yeah, I'm obviously not going to quit like going out and doing this. I know I said that earlier, but it just doesn't feel right right now. Even going to a college right now. Tim and I were supposed to go to Penn State, Tim Pool, obviously. We're supposed to go and debate at Penn State October 10th, and we canceled that. But I'm not going to cancel all my events. I mean, maybe through Turning Point for the time being. I think that's what we need to do. That's the right thing to do. But I'm just saying down the road, there will be a time and place where we can go back on a college campus and fight for Charlie's legacy. And I will say this, that until the day that I die, I will always defend Charlie Kirk's legacy. And I've always have defended Charlie Kirk's legacy. And there was people on this show that have criticized Charlie, that I've had conversations with after the fact, that have all changed their opinion on Charlie. Because Charlie is a hero. He's an American hero. He's a martyr, whatever, you know what I mean, martyr. And he died for our liberties, our freedom. And his shirt said freedom on it. Like, it just doesn't even seem real. Like, he literally died protecting freedom of speech. And that's why I'm going to spend every moment that I can and every opportunity that I get to defend Charlie Kirk. Not that he needs to be defended at all. I'm just saying, because of what he did to me, people need to know that. I want people to know that I would not even be known if it wasn't for Charlie. And I will never stop saying that, ever. I mean, there's about 3 guys that really kind of helped me out a lot at the beginning that kind of popped me off. Was Mark Dice, Charlie Kirk, and Gavin McInnes. All 3 of those guys helped me out a lot, and they didn't need to. They didn't know who I was. And so, till the day I die, I'll always shout out those guys, but especially Charlie, because no disrespect to Gavin, starting the Proud Boys is pretty culturally relevant, and Mark obviously is an incredible commentator. Charlie was destined to be president of the United States of America. And that's a different level of success that very few people could be even considered for. I have no idea how Kamala Harris was even considered for that. It makes no sense, but Charlie would have actually won his election if he ran. And we're never going to have that opportunity to have him as our president. It just makes me absolutely sick. And like, there's more videos we have, and we have like stuff from the crime scene, but I don't even, the illness and the pain in my stomach, the nausea that I'm feeling, I don't even really want to cover it, because I don't want to. I've constantly relived it. We all have constantly relived it, because we can't even go on social media without reliving it. And we're basically all victims of, maybe it was, just one killer, but we're all victims of this. Just seeing it, witnessing it, and society will never be the same. And maybe it shouldn't be the same. Like, I'm not saying that we should do a civil war. We should do the opposite of that. Like I was saying, Charlie would be respectful, but like, I guess maybe like, this is a message to either wake up or plug into the Matrix and just be ignorant and just tune it out. And just kind of be like, a debt slave your whole life, and just don't have any belief in God, and, just have a meaningless life. But Charlie would not have wanted that. He would want society to know that your life is important and your life means a lot. And Charlie, at 31 years old's life has meant more than anybody could ever imagine. And I just am really at a loss for words when it comes to the constant feelings of despair, and then anger, and then fear, and just the overall kind of like, there's like certain truths you have to accept in life. Like, one of them is like that life is not fair. You have to accept that, or else you'll go crazy. You will go crazy if you don't understand that life is not fair. And there's going to be people that work less hard than you, that are more successful than you. There's going to be people that catch breaks that they don't deserve. That's life. But when you see a person get taken out like Charlie, life is so egregiously unfair, it makes it almost unbearable. And that's the struggle that people are going through, especially young people that Charlie is trying to reach out to, is that they have that unbearable stress and anxiety because they cannot afford a home, they can't afford to go to college, they got to go into debt to go to college for a job that they're not going to get unless they're the right color. And these are universal truths. This isn't racism. This is just true facts. And sometimes facts hurt people's feelings. I think that's Ben Shapiro's thing. I don't even want to talk about him right now. But these are hard truths that Charlie told that people needed to hear in order to help guide them in the right direction. And now they will not get that advice. They will not get that civil debate to let them form their own opinion. And we will never know what the world would have been like if yesterday didn't happen the way it did. I mean, I would even go so far as to say, and I don't want to get canceled for this or anything, but I don't know if Trump's presidency can even be successful anymore. And I'm not blaming Trump, I'm just saying, to lose a person like Charlie, this is like 9/11, this is like the pandemic, as this is a terrible, unthinkable tragedy that will affect the course of history significantly. Just like 9/11, just like major tragic events, just like Pearl Harbor, this is on the same level as that. I would even argue that this is possibly, potentially be more impactful than some of those terrible tragedies. Because I don't know if a future president died in 9/11. I don't know. We'll never know, right? But I do know that a future president died yesterday. I mean, it makes me so sick. Doesn't feel real. I don't know if the chat's probably liking this episode, just sitting here crying the whole time, but I don't know what to do, guys. I'm really, just really hurt, and a lot of opportunities that Charlie gave me unnecessarily. Like, I just feel so bad that I can't thank him. I can't be like, thanks. You have no idea. It's weird. But I'm not trying to make it about me. It's not about me. But I'm just personally upset because, like, I'm looking at all the big picture stuff about how we lost a future president, how the world's never going to be the same, but, like, I can't help but think in the back of my head my personal losses. That a guy that thought I was funny, liked me, let me go represent his organization at colleges all across the country. Would have been great if he's president and he likes me. Well, how does that not help me? My life is significantly worse. And all of our lives are. I'm just saying, my life is worse. All of our lives are worse. I just can't. I don't know. People are like in the chat, I should continue his legacy. Guys, I can't continue Charlie's legacy. I mean, there's just no, I mean, we'll go and always defend Charlie, and we'll always talk about him in the most positive way possible. But I'm just saying, those are shoes that I don't fit in, okay? Like a baby trying to put on cowboy boots, their dad's cowboy. I can't fit in his cowboy boots. I cannot fit in his shoes. A lot of people can't fit. Nobody can fit in his shoes. And even if you put 20 people trying to fit in his shoes, like, that's not the same. It's not the same. The world will never be the same. And I stopped saying this because our words have power. And when we say something could potentially happen, we almost give it the power to happen. And so I want to be careful with what I say, but we always talk about how this is a war. We talk about how, once we can't win with our words, Charlie even said it, they're going to use violence. So even though we knew that this was a possibility, nobody really thought that this would ever happen like this. Nobody really thought that. Because we're naive. We're naive. We're like, you know, society's bad. These people are shooting up schools and this and that. This stuff happens, but it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to Charlie Kirk. It's not going to happen to this. Like, and then when it happens, you can't calculate that possibility being real, and that's where we're at. I'm in the stage of disbelief. I mean, we all saw it, so I know it's real, but every time I say that Charlie Kirk has passed away at 31 years old, it doesn't feel real. It feels like it's a sketch or something. Like, I mean, it's just, it's a really, really bad thing and a hard thing to say, and something I never would have expected I would have to say. I mean, the idea that I'm older than Charlie and I was going to, I mean, I would have thought that Charlie Kirk would have been president and nobody would even have the motivation to do something to him like that. Like, I didn't think that type of evil existed. Even the most person on the most hormones and stuff, I figured they'd just be like, oh, I hate you. I didn't think that they would plan a public assassination for Charlie. Because Charlie was, he was a strong conservative, but he wasn't far right. He wasn't alt-right. He was pro-America. That's what he was. So his views were not that incendiary whatsoever. The fact that he's pro-life, nobody really cares. Like, nobody, I mean, being pro-life is not controversial enough for somebody to kill you. Like, there has to be more to it. I just don't understand why somebody would want to kill somebody for wanting to protect the lives of babies, because everybody knows in their heart that protecting babies is good. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that when a drunk driver, you know, hits a pregnant mom and kills the baby and the mom, they get charged with a double homicide. Like, everybody knows that. Charlie used that argument. People know that, right? But they'll just go argue, you know, pro-choice because they're just sick people. But I don't know anybody that could ever look at Charlie or listen to him for longer than 15 seconds and have any ill will towards him. Even all the influencers that all follow him around, they're all very sad, and they should be, because Charlie was a beacon of light. Whether you agreed with him politically or not, you knew that he was coming with the best intentions and he was going to be incredibly honorable. And it's hard to debate a person that is incredibly honorable, incredibly good, has nothing to hide, and can just lay all their cards on the table like Charlie did. It's always impossible to beat that type of person in a debate, and that's why nobody beat Charlie in a debate, and that's why somebody took him out. And it's just a lesson that when you're actually good, when you're actually a moral person, and you're super famous, but you want to give people access to you because you feel that's your humble duty, which Charlie did not have to do. You see all these other people, they don't like to go. I mean, a lot of people have gone and done college debates. I'm saying Charlie was so incredibly accessible. Anybody that wanted to go debate him could go to his event, stand in line early enough, and get an opportunity. And like, I don't know. I don't know what much more I need to say about it. I'm kind of just repeating myself. I do know that Tucker Carlson started a Give, Send, Go. I think it was Alp donated $1 million if you want to support Erica and his 2 young children. Alp put in $1 million. The Give, Send, Go. I think you type in Erica Kirk. So, yeah, I mean, once again, that is no disrespect to Tucker. Charlie would have been a billionaire one day. So, I mean, money is... I mean, no amount of money that we could give his family would have been close to the amount of money that Charlie could have earned on his own. So. And Charlie would have had more kids, and Charlie just, I'm just... America lost its greatest private citizen yesterday. And for that matter, as a private citizen, he's better than all these other politicians too. So America literally lost its best citizen yesterday. So just like when Michael Jordan retires from the Bulls or Tom Brady retires, Charlie Kirk is the world's greatest debater, and that's all we need to say. And we just need to honor his legacy, and I know that I'll honor his legacy, and I'll do whatever I can to always defend him, which I always have. So honestly, I feel guilty enough that I haven't defended him hard enough. I wish I would have, when I had opportunities, I wish I would have defended him a million times even harder, even though I've always defended him. I really wish I would have let people know how much he helped me while he was still alive, and even if I didn't tell him personally, maybe heard it through the grapevine, like I would have liked him to know that. I would have liked him to know that. So a lot of people are going through it. I guess we all should just kind of let the pain come upon us. It's okay if you've had other trauma in your life and you're like, man, this almost feels worse than that trauma. That's not unusual, because what we all experienced yesterday was unlike anything that's ever happened in history before that. This was much different than the JFK assassination, where there's a Zapruder film coming out later. Like, this was totally different. This is the most graphic video I have ever seen, or humanity has ever seen, ever. The juxtaposition of a man with a microphone speaking in front of a crowd, taken out like that, there will just never be a video as graphic or as horrible as that. So if you feel immense pain and sadness, that is the normal default feeling when you witness and experience something like that. So let's not beat each other up. Let's just try to find, I mean, I don't even know if we should look for happiness right now, because that's, no, like the world's, let's mourn Charlie. Let's feel the sadness. Let's feel it, and let's experience it. And then, let's use that motivation. Like, I remember, when my mom passed away, I would walk into that hospital, I was so scared every day. The nurses were not nice, and it just was a bad experience. And I was like, I got to do it. I don't have a choice. I got to go visit my mom. They only had certain hours I could go visit her. I could only go there for 4 hours a day. So I'd have to leave and come back. And I remember walking through that the halls of the hospital, and like it just didn't feel real. And that's kind of how this feels. Like, it just doesn't feel real. But what I learned from that terrible tragedy is, after the fact, that there'd be situations where I would be in that I didn't want to be in, and I would just go back to the horrible tragedy that I had experienced, and I realized that I made it through that. There's nothing that we will face that will be as tragic. So it gave me, I guess, this confidence to not even worry about the next challenge, because no challenge is going to be as tough as that. And I think that what happened with Charlie is going to be a similar thing for society. It's like, society will never be challenged as hard as we were challenged yesterday with what we saw. And we can either let it eat us away and fight one another, or we use it as a motivating tool to go out and carry on Charlie's legacy and make the world a better place and fight for what Charlie would have fought for. Because we don't have any other choice. Like, vote or die, fight or die. So don't let this horrible tragedy demoralize you enough to quit. Use this as a rallying cry to understand that life is incredibly short, life is tragically unfair, and that it's up to you to really take the reins, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And Charlie Kirk was the ultimate self-starter, 17 years old, starting the biggest college organization in the world. I mean, just sounds impossible. Literally sounds impossible. When I was 17 years old, I mean, I was like backing my car into, you know, people in parking lots. Like, I was not starting a conservative organization that would influence multiple presidential elections. And then don't forget all the smaller elections that they influenced. So yeah, today's a bad day. No silver lining. The world is significantly worse with Charlie. Nothing is okay. We will all be okay, but the world is not okay. And it's a much darker place. And we can never go back to before 9/11, and we can never go back to before Charlie Kirk. So the world that we were living in yesterday is not the same world that we're living in today. We have to understand that. And don't let this be a motivating factor to give up, because Charlie wouldn't have given up. And we do know one, and it's not even a silver lining because it was guaranteed anyway, but Charlie is obviously in heaven. Obviously. I mean, he supported the church and churches so much that the big guy upstairs definitely had to take care of Charlie. And he obviously needed Charlie, or obviously Satan had to take him out because Charlie's too good. I don't know why Charlie's not here, but I know that he is in a better place. The world is worse off, but Charlie is not in pain, he's not suffering, and he is with the Almighty, probably calling shots, you know. And yeah, so we'll just see where we go from here. My life is drastically going to be different the next few months, but I'm not worried about that. But I'm worried about you guys. I mean that. I am worried. I am worried because I know that I'm a mess right now. I don't want you guys to all be messes like me. And we have to honor Charlie. He would definitely be making fun of me for crying, I think. Charlie probably, you know, he's a real man. He probably wouldn't have cried on camera, but a lot of people have, and that's because a lot of people all had great experiences with Charlie Kirk, and nobody had a bad experience that ever got to personally meet him or interact with him. And that's why we're crying. That's why we're so sad. And he touched the lives of people that Charlie doesn't even realize. Not just people that are Turning Point chapter members, so many other kids that we have no idea that were affected in a positive way by Charlie. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I think I'm just gonna wind things down and say this has been one of the worst weeks ever. The world is a much worse place. I hope Donald Trump can help fix this. I don't know if he can. I don't know if anybody can. So, yeah, it's our duty to fight, not give up, and to emulate Charlie. I mean, I emulated him literally, and now I need to emulate him even more, but nobody can replace a supernova like Charlie Kirk. And I just last thing I want to say, thank you, Charlie, for everything that you did for me, for giving me multiple second chances when you didn't have to. And I'm really upset that we couldn't have done more stuff together. I'm really upset about that. It's not about me, I'm just... Selfishly, I'm really upset about that too. I just wish I could have done more, Charlie. But yeah, I'm happy for the experiences that I did have with Charlie. Very grateful for all of them. He was a very busy guy, very busy, changing the world for a better place. So yeah, so we're just gonna end the show. We're gonna do a moment of silence. Obviously not a freestyle finale, nothing to freestyle about tonight. But yeah, we're going to take a moment of silence for Charlie.
That weird to see Alex Stein's dad. My life. Get this in. Sir.
Joining me now is the author of groundbreaking works, international bestsellers, his latest on democracies and death cults. Douglas Murray, let's start with the murder of Charlie Kirk, one of the brightest and bravest voices of his generation, a genuinely decent man, a father of two, shot dead at the age of 31, at the type of event that had really become synonymous with his name. He understood the importance of robust debate, of maintaining dialogue with your ideological opponents.
When people saw in Dallas, Texas,
I love the Bailey is alive. This is only relevant if you're Canadian. Well, I mean, it's relevant if you
bias or prejudgment. I was suggesting that the court had come to the conclusion that he is behaving badly and that he sucks. So, yeah. Okay. And going forward, suspicious of the court in their treatment of me and others, all of which had the potential of causing me and others to lose trust in how I or we would be treated by the court going forward. Sadly, he succeeded, for I am now cognizant of such possibility. Had Ian not detailed a guide to his online audience on how his online audience could go about having third parties commit harm at a low cost to anyone in such same video stream, and had Ian not used hateful rhetoric and insults, and had he not caused me to lose trust when falsely representing that the court allegedly said about me that this guy sucks, indicating that the court was biased against me. Oh, I'm not saying that they're biased against you, sir. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying that the court has determined that you are pretty awful. And that this is not bias. This is just like an inference from the evidence that you have provided. So, yeah. However, because Ian had in fact did this, caused such concerns as any reasonable person would be of the view that such conduct was not lawful. Alright. I later observed that this individual on social media had made other public concerning posts, including at one point suggesting that he assaults people with knives in a vulgar manner while using expletives and profanity, see Exhibit A, and that he regularly carries knives on his person in a concealed fashion, please see Exhibit B, further reinforcing my beliefs that he may potentially be a danger. We're going to see those exhibits. I noted that he appears, by his own admissions, to, despite suffering from admitted mental health concerns, as he himself advertised, own a plethora of firearms. Or plethora? Yeah, the CFO has no problem with me owning firearms. And I have never harmed anybody with firearms, and I, unless somebody's trying to kill me, I never will. All right. Ugh, my sinuses are starting to clog up. So, I would submit that it is not normal for a person to carry concealed knives on their person and to engage in such above postings, causing me further safety fears. I also observed that this individual also referred publicly on social media to and about the Edmonton government, comprised of the Alberta provincial government and the Edmonton municipal government, as a pack of idiots. I think that statement actually probably applies to lots of politicians, that they are in fact packs of idiots, but yes. A characterization of them I wholly disagree with, and encourage his online followers to engage in a coordinated campaign so as to harass and deluge, including with insults, such government officials as well, and manipulate a public survey about the sale of knives in Alberta, given that it appeared that this individual was angry that the sale of knives in Alberta would be regulated as a result of the current increase in criminal activities by people currently purchasing and using such items in the commission of crimes. I basically said, hey, they've got a public survey open. Go tell them your opinions, which is exactly what they want out of a public survey, is that people will go and, you know, give their opinions. All right. It should be noted that his online social media followers, who appear to be anti-government, oh no, are seen and observed agreeing that they would abide by this individual's request in menacing the Edmonton government. The government doesn't appear to have been menaced, and that the survey would be taken by some of them under false pretenses. It also should be noted that many of these followers were located outside of Canada, and as I understand, have no business influencing or manipulating Edmonton public policies, including in relation to the sale of knives. I have also observed that this individual was referring on social media to school resource police officers, among other police officers, in a concerning manner, and in a manner in which it could cause the public to lose trust in the police. You're allowed to have opinions about the police, right? That's actually a charter right. For example, he publicly advocated that school resources positions are allegedly a dumping ground for bad police officers, which is true. This individual also appeared to advertise strange things on his social media, such as clothing with negative or hateful rhetoric against children. Clothing with negative or hateful rhetoric against children. Can you guess what what that shirt is? Which ones of you can guess which that was? Waiting to see it in the chat. Yes! It's the Get Wrecked Small Cute Child shirt. He was super upset about that. I also observed that this individual self-admits to suffering from ADHD, which I believe and understand is or could be a form of autism. Again, who cares? And in other videos he's made, admits to having previously been involved in past animal abuse and cruelty investigations unrelated to me, where purportedly he admits to somehow having procured a set of animal eyes. I went to a butcher and I was like, can I get some eyeballs? And they're like, yes, you can have eyeballs. Presumably from an animal or its carcass. I mean, from a butcher who I assume probably got them from the animal or its carcass, and filmed them on social media, which I understood previously caused negative and angry reactions. It caused an angry reaction from somebody who hadn't actually watched the video. I would submit such inclinations of such individual, in addition to his Edmonton government reproval, are peculiar and concerning. In essence, I believe this individual may be perturbed, and he has, for reasons that only he knows, become triggered and is now stalking me. I was not stalking him, I was, I'm just reading court decisions and stuff that is filed, like, concerning me. Or causing me to be stalked, contacted, harassed, threatened, and intimidated. online, he admits to suffering from intrusive thoughts. Please see Exhibit H. Again, an individual with all such above self-admitted patterns of behavior was somehow apparently triggered by the April 17th decision. This keeps going, by the way. Consequently, once I learned of this, given the above context, he's still going through the hitman stuff, so we're going to skip some of that because it gets kind of repetitive. So he says, this individual, along with his online audience, had been criticized by U.S. judges and court staff. That's not true. This is referring to the thing in the, in the Janet case where they said, like, I'm not going to talk about Mad Catster, or I'm not going to contact Mad Catster, the Canadian lawyer, which somebody sent them an email about me and other people, and that was it. There was no, like, major concern. All right. He says that he was harassed even more, where even further threats were made against me, with some of his online followers repeatedly attempting to obtain my contact details. At one point, a headstone is mentioned by one of his followers and discussed in a post related to or about me, making me feel threatened and intimidated, where I truly believe and continue to fear my life was in danger. Can you guys guess what the story is about the headstone? Y'all are going to be pissed.
Is someone talking about
Y'all are going to be real pissed when you see it. Yeah, it just keeps going. Let's go to the exhibits because this just keeps on going. All right. So these are the things that he was upset by. So there's this this post here that says, what to cut with these knives: ham, bread, filet, steak, cheese, cake, cartilage, pizza, vegetables, pies, fish, and then there's this one marked motherfuckers. And my comment was, in a pinch, almost all of these work on motherfuckers. It's clearly a joke. All right. On to Exhibit B. I said, I thought about tossing a pocket knife in my checked bags, but thought, it'll just be a few days. I haven't been here 48 hours, and I've kicked myself several times for not having one. No, this is not me talking about carrying weapons. This is me talking about carrying useful knives. Because, like, I was sitting there opening packages and so forth and just going, where's my freaking knife? Exhibit C. Important. The Edmonton government are a pack of idiots who want to ban or heavily restrict the sale of knives in the city. This is absolutely idiotic, and people need to hit this survey to tell them so. And then somebody said, I entered in the survey that I'm a visible minority and a transgender. That should help. I suspect this person is joking, but also I don't own this person. Like, that person is their own person, right? Yeah. All right. So, Runkle of the Bailey, 255,000. We've come so far, chat. Yeah. All right. One of the dirty little secrets of SROs, the police officers in schools, is that sometimes those positions are used as a dumping ground for bad officers. Don't want them on the street? Stick them in a school. And I will note here that the case was about a child who was working as a school resource officer. So, yeah. Yep. And then there's this post. Kicking myself right now. Ordered myself a Get Wrecked Small Cute Child shirt. but I forgot it in Edmonton. So he's upset about the Get Wrecked Small Cute Child shirts. All right. Ian Runkle of the Bailey. Someone sent me an email saying they really like my social media manager. Heh, joke's on them. I'm just terminally online. Twitter works well with my ADHD. Also, I kind of feel like this brain is unique. Sometimes even in good ways. I mean, this guy's catching me being funny. He's like, how dare this person be funny? I'm like, okay, I got some bangers sometimes. ADHD is bad for the random, intrusive, negative thoughts sort of thing.
Hey, what up, chat?
So, imposter syndrome kicking me in the tail right now. It'll pass, but it's weird how brains work sometimes. You can have things you know are silly, but still are happening. So, literally, this is just me saying, hey, sometimes I have, like, depressive thoughts. And I know it's a bullshit thought. Like, it's just an imposter syndrome thing. And the thing is that if there was an issue with imposter syndrome among lawyers, there would be no lawyers. There'd be like 3 people. All right. You, Lauren the Mortician, urgent message from Runkle. So today they had a joint status conference, which I attended virtually. I checked with the court clerk. They told me it'd be fine if I called in, and that if the judge disagreed, they'd kick me. So Benjamin Lockyer is making a request to have all documents filed as attorney's eyes only, which would prevent even Kitty, Do We Know Them, and Becca Day from seeing them. Thankfully, the court rejected that. They're currently in the process of working out a confidentiality order. However, the judge reiterated her extreme annoyance with people emailing in. By the way, this I was exaggerating because I really didn't want anybody to, email in. And identified several people by name. Apparently, these people had sent messages telling the judge to check Reddit and to watch YouTube channels, including Mad Catster and some, and some lawyer from Canada. I think the judge may think that Mad Catster is the Canadian lawyer, but not sure on that, as well as expressing opinions about the plaintiffs. Apparently, they also suggested the judge donate to the GoFundMe, which is fun. If this is you, I want to say in the strongest possible terms, do not do this. Knock it off. This does not help any of the defendants in this case. This does not help me in covering this case. This is, to be entirely frank, very stupid. It sounds like this is only a few people out of thousands who've seen these videos, but I'm absolutely saying do not contact the court in any way. Do not involve yourself. Yeah, that's totally this is totally inappropriate to tell people to behave themselves. All right. Whoa, here's a picture of me with super short hair. And there's a post here. Guys, please do not go over to post snarky comments at the original video. Asp Extra did me a solid letting me review this, and you're making me into a poor house guest if you go and shit on their lawn. I think there were 4 comments. So when you go
course.
is telling people to be civil and telling people to be chill. But you can also see this guy put some research in. Holy shit. And then here's somebody saying, give us the email address, please. I didn't give anybody an email address. So, yeah. All right. Somebody says, so what did you do? Don't answer that. Would love to express my appreciation to this person for caring. Care to provide his or her ID or email address? I don't know who this person is, but some random person on Twitter is not somebody I own. This is obviously a joking comment, as you've got somebody saying, I need to threaten some people because Mr. Runkle talked about them. He does not understand sarcasm. Yeah. And then somebody else says, that was hilarious. I only wish I was able to discern whether or not he's ever met or knows you. Be well, Runkle, and best of luck treating your mental health issues. This was me reviewing his letter to the police where he accused me of having mental health issues, and these are people mocking him. These are people making fun of him, and he's thinking that it's serious. But it gets worse. So from so-and-so, I don't know who that's from, to so-and-so, subject Ian Runkle complaint. I don't know who this is from or to. Please see below, some followers and friends of Ian Runkle are planning to murder me. And here is, I don't know if you guys can read it. It says, I'm sure by now 1 million people have told you. Check out Pixie's or Corey's channel about his headstone. So I'm going to, I might get, I might have some feels as we go through this, but, yeah. So if you remember Corey, Corey was a delightful young child who, had ongoing persistent health issues. And because of that, he needed organ transplants. And then eventually, after he'd had multiple rounds of heart transplants, he made the very difficult and very adult decision that he wasn't going to go through a third one. And so Make-A-Wish reached out, and he wanted to be a YouTuber, and he wanted to get his silver play button. And so we all, we all stepped up. And I say we all because I did my part, but so did everyone else on the internet. Everybody was like, we ride. And this was actually a kind of tremendous moment, because even this was in the middle, Johnny Depp did a video to support his goal, but even the Amber Heard supporters were going, hey guys, this is actually a good cause. Support this kid. I saw many Amber Heard supporters going, support this kid because he's a good kid and this is tragic. And yeah. So, unfortunately, Corey passed away. And but before he passed, he reached his 100,000 subscriber goal. Now, I knew from my own experience that once you hit the 100,000 goal, it can take a while to get that play button, to actually get the physical object. And so Emily D. Baker, at the time, I didn't have a channel manager. I didn't have anybody to reach out to. But Emily D. Baker did a lot to, she contacted people at YouTube and she was like, you got to get this moving. But I didn't know if that was going to be successful. So I made a leather play button. I took my play button. It's in the garage somewhere. I don't know where it is, but, it's like a leather. I traced it out on leather. And the official play button, says something along the lines of, congratulations to so-and-so for reaching 100,000 subscribers. And I added to that, and inspiring the world to the bottom of it, right? That was my addition, because I thought it needed something a little more than the, I thought it needed something a little more than just the 100,000 subscribers thing. So, anyway, Corey eventually passed. I went and I was there for his funeral. It was tough. But, eventually afterwards, they got his headstone up and his headstone used those words, the and inspiring the world. And so that's what that was about. And this is why people were saying, Runkle, you need to go see you got to go see this. This yeah. This is a thing. I'm seeing people saying, please play the swoop. I'll play the swoop. Give me 1 second while I find the swoop. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Nope, that's not the one. Here we go. So yeah, when the court says, and some of his allegations were offensive, this right here is what is offensive. I also had to explain the background to the to the Get Wrecked Small Cute Child shirt, which is, of course, the background to that is, of course, our campaign to help Rick Hogue get recognition for his stroke recovery. So, now it is very clear from all of this, Mr. Tican seems to have put a lot of effort into researching me and my channel and the background on all of this. And it seems very clear that he had to have known exactly what he was doing. And it looks like he was specifically mining tragedies of, like, my friends in order to, use them against me. So, yeah. He's got discussions from people I don't even know who they are. Like, top minds of Reddit? I don't think I've actually been on that subreddit. So... Okay. Oh, it's because he's got this issue with somebody else. Thrift store hauls? He's now going on about other people. I don't know. Yeah, okay. All of these people were talking about him on Reddit, and they're like, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. When they say that the steps he, when he says that, or when the court notes, he also explains that Mr. Tican's claims against him were not only factually incorrect, but also offensive. I accept Mr. Runkle's explanations because they are offensive. Yeah. All right, so the other thing is I actually did Mr. Tican a favor in all of this. I did him a solid. And, I don't think he's gonna actually recognize that, but we'll talk about the solid I did for him, like where I actually stepped in to help him out, or help him out a little bit. I guess I just didn't kick him as hard as possibly I could have. But so let's look at this. They do impose all of these restrictions, and they get to costs. Here's the thing. So they say we are able to impose costs. Dr. Alamgir gets $10,000 in costs. This is me doing Mr. Tican a solid. Mr. Runkle has not sought costs because he wishes to terminate his interactions with Mr. Tican. Accordingly, I award no cost to him. I didn't ask for costs from Mr. Tican. Now, I am kind of wondering if I should have, because I don't want to have any contact with the guy, and sometimes the best way to not have any contact with somebody is if they owe you money. But AHRC got $2,500 in costs. OIPC got $5,000 in costs. LSA got $2,500 in costs. CPS got $5,000 in costs. So, I mean, maybe I should have asked for costs, but I did not ask for costs, and it is what it is. The thing is I don't actually want to. I don't want to spend my time chasing him for money, and instead, I'm just happy, if he F's off and whatever. I also suspect that he probably doesn't have any money, but yeah. So that is the story of Tican. There might be. Can you charge for your own work? There is. There's mixed case law on that. So, yeah. Now, some people said, "Hey, what is he actually subject to? What are the rules he's subject to?" Okay, so here's what he's subject to. So, what is it? Adrian Tican is subject to the following litigation and litigation management steps. 1, he's not permitted to institute further proceedings on his own behalf or on behalf of any other person, or continue any proceedings he's already instituted without permission of the court. An application to vary or set aside this order must be made on notice to any person as directed by the court. He shall only communicate with the Alberta courts using his full legal name, Adrian Tican. He may only communicate with his court by registered mail or through a member of the Law Society. Any communication to the clerk of the court shall indicate the identity and action docket number of the relevant proceeding, indicate the purpose of the communication or filing, and include prepayment of any required filing fees. He is prohibited from making any payment to the clerk of the court by credit card, may only make payments by bank draft, cash, or any other payment mechanism approved of in advance by the clerk of the court, i.e. nothing that he can later reverse. The clerks and so forth have full authority to reject at their discretion any materials received from Mr. Tican that do not satisfy the above criteria. He's prohibited from continuing any action, appeal, application, or proceeding without rules. To continue or commence or continue, he has to file a memorandum of this decision and the resulting orders. So he's got to actually let the court know when he is, that he's subject to these orders when he files, various other things, and the restrictions also apply to initiating appeals of criminal matters from the Alberta Court of Justice, any criminal code step or process where he's not named as an accused or an offender, and criminal habeas proceedings. So, yeah. He's not allowed to give legal advice, act as an agent, amicus curiae, next friend, Mackenzie friend, or anything else like that. Yeah. All right. Let's. He's also required to. What is it? He's got to provide all of these things whenever he makes complaints against law enforcement personnel, submits complaints of alleged criminal activity to Alberta law enforcement, applies for support or services from Legal Aid Alberta, files an affidavit to this court. Yeah. Okay. Does it prohibit death threats against you? That's just prohibited by the criminal code. So, all right. let's go and talk about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. We're going to cover Super Chats first. Oh, this is a good question. How are your doggos doing? Zora is doing great. Zora is full of beans. Zora decided that she wanted to help me out when I was... I had a nap before the stream in order to...
already spoke.
You know, sort of recuperate and recover some energy. I'm like, it's going to be a rough stream, so better get some energy, you know, recover a little bit. And Zora decided to help out by jumping up on the bed and pawing me in the face.
We're just harmless travelers.
It was very helpful to, yeah. It's like, thanks, Zora. That's very sweet. But why are you kicking me in the face? Potter is still Potter still has a you know, a foot infection, and it's not recovered yet. So we're working on that. So yeah. All right.
Horse! Here, horse
before I do that, my sinuses are starting to move. So yeah, we're just
Follow
gonna.
me! Mounted archers!
Apologies, and yes, still cone of shame. Still cone of shame. Okay, so let's cover super chats here. Busy the Gamer Mom. Just what my Monday needed. Some Runkle. I am really sorry that I haven't been able to stream for a while. I've been teaching community peace officers, and as I said, they're a really good group of students. I actually, you know, I've been enriched by the process as well, and yeah, they're good people. So, yeah, but it's been blocking off my Mondays because I've been having to drive. Winnie Blythe, I love how we all call out Elaine when muted. Isaiah, whoop, number 9. Awesome. Equality, honey ginger tea bowl. I don't have any ginger tea, I don't think. Avrila's hobby channel with the soup emoji. There we go. David Craig, have some soup, sir. I'm working through the soup. Isaiah, sipping once, sipping twice, sipping chicken soup with rice. I don't have any rice in this. Excuse me, can't handle more of him right now. Yeah, fair enough. Nancy Druby, eat your soup. Next school. Potter update. I gave you the Potter update, so I guess I should have made that a goal. Phoenix Paw, this will be the last time I annoy you or Runkle with a super chat due to my patronage. Thank you, Phoenix Paw. I really appreciate it. The Patreon is another way to sort of contribute. It sort of provides a regular, you know, regular thing, so some stability. So, yep. Mary Matilda May with a chicken or rooster. Thank you so much. Guani MH, please, a Kirk-free evening. We've done that. DSN, thank you for the super sticker. Nick Staros is chicken soup fun. Thank you. I don't know how much actual chicken is in this, but it's just packets. Katie Q, get well soon. Thank you. Justin Sturgeon, chicken soup for the Runkle Soul. PJ World Climbers, glad to be here. Glad you're here. Pamela Wissenbach, the healing powers of spicy, salty soup. I also put enough garlic in this soup to, you know, kill every vampire in town. I will tell you my secret formula for making, like, sick soup.
This motherfucker.
It goes like this. You're going to start with just, like, Lipton's packets of soup. Because you're sick and you're not putting a whole lot of effort into this. But, to that, you're going to add garlic and hot sauce or hot chilies or whatever. And you just keep adding those until, like, a UN weapons inspector knocks on the door. And, yeah. Morgan says, for the Reaper soup. Thank you so much. Dwani MH, get some delicious spa or kimchi jjigae tomorrow. I don't know a good place for kimchi soup, but, yeah. Ohio Paw Mom, you know it's a lot if Ian thinks it's spicy. It's pretty, yeah. Judicial review. If the Mackenzie friend is the spouse and the alleged victim is the spouse and the judge allows the spouse to be the Mackenzie friend, what does that indicate about the judge's decision? Not a whole lot, but it's weird. I don't really know what. I need to know more.
Yours is not a
So
face
it's a weird circumstance.
What is
Phalite Forge, can we get a pupper update? I've given a pupper update. David Craig says, chug. I got to get through this water and then, yeah. Annabelle Feinstein, water with emergency would be best water. I don't have, oh, I do have emergency, but it's not in here. I'd have to go get it. Pamela Wissenbach, hydrate. There we go. David Goodnow, shouldn't that be milk? The water is not for despicifying, it's for hydrating.
Yeah.
20MH for government mandated grifting. There we go. Jedi Jen, there's a judge in Jackson, Michigan that is in trouble for drinking on the job as well as making seggy comments to female lawyers and attorneys. Keep it classy, Jackson. Ooh. That's not cool. Sardinism. Have I told you about the former roommate whose friends call his red beans and rice recipe edible tear gas? Anyway, water is good. Drink water. That sounds good. Rod Batten, thank you for joining up. Much appreciated. Steve A, rest up and get better, Runkle. We're gonna set a new goal. Here's the goal. Start another goal. Here's the goal. It's a rare thing. There we go. I just started a goal. The goal is Runkle gets 8 hours of sleep. I will commit to getting 8 hours of sleep if we get that. Mary Matilda May with a wave. Mostly harmless fuzzball. How long before Cardi puts her chicken soup on the ban list? It might already be there. David Craig, have some water, please. Thank you. Straight at Andrew says, my birthday was September 3rd. Happy birthday. Gina Kawaji, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Not that Jeanette. We all promise we don't give any fucks about him. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. And, you know, it's Runkle involved, but yeah. Real Jim McIntyre, the animal parts was probably the Dogwoods antler. No, this was before that. It was the, it was like the Pig's Eye videos and so forth. Galena Ward, really weird to accuse you of stalking, but make this whole scrapbook of a court filing about you, right? Terkushian, as always, I appreciate your calm and intelligent ways. Thank you so much. Real Jim McIntyre, incredible threat against the Infra Wellness Super Chats. Thank you. Annabelle Feinstein, balls, balls, balls. Yes. Punk Banana, no. Piracy Swoop, please. Yes. Linda Santiago, Corey was an amazing kid. He really was. And one of the things that really stood out was, so like Corey had an Amazon wish list. And of course, people are buying stuff off of his Amazon wish list because, you know, yeah, they want to help him out. And you know what he put on his wish list? He put a whole bunch of things on his wish list to like help out local schools and stuff like that. So, yeah, that he had every right to be selfish. And instead he was thinking of other people. Yeah, it's, yeah. Corey was more a man than this guy could ever be. Yeah, you're not wrong. Epic 7000, never really super chatted because I'm a college student with no income. Lol, your content has really helped me make sense of a lot of the scary crime stuff that used to traumatize me. So thank you. Thank you, Epic 7000. But if you're a college student with no income, please make that your last super chat until you get some income, okay? I don't want people choosing between like their ramen or, you know, or a super chat. If that's the case, nice, if you're choosing between dinner or a super chat, choose dinner every time, like 100%. So yeah. Kristen M96, lighter note, between you and Rob, the robots have been in 2 court filings from screenshots. Rob's was in the Maya trial. There's a I mean, I doubt it stops there. And let's roll this. Michigan Farm Boy for affidavit costs and ongoing humorous court filings. Also for dealing with unnamed litigious Illinois clowns. Also, how'd the teaching go? Teaching's a lot of fun. Hezo1, get well soon, Ian. Thank you. Chrissy C, how did that never mention anything Bad Dragon related? I think the Bad Dragon stuff happened after that. Mildred Katie, 1 year, can't believe it. Glad to have you here. Annabelle Feinstein, 8 hours of sleep in one night, or I want you to sleep, but one night is best. It's gonna be one night. I'm not gonna like monkey's paw this thing. It'll be 8 hours tonight. Not that Amber. Sleep tight, Runkle. I will. Yeah. All right. So this one, I hope you're going to be able to hear the audio. And we're going to listen to a bail revocation for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Now, Kelsey Fitzsimmons is an interesting case. She's a police officer who got shot in the back. They were serving documents on her. She apparently, the allegation was pulled a gun and, you know, threatened this. And she got shot in the back, and then finally she gets bail. And the bail revocation here is because they brought an application in court to say, you can't keep making her do the breathalyzer because every time she's trying to breathe, it hurts. Or shot in the chest. I mean, same thing, right? Same. It's all the same area. I thought it was the back. I'll have to check. But she's got bullet wounds, right? And so, they're like, well, you'll see what the court does. It's insane what the court does. And I'm being told, yeah, the torso. All right, let's, I'm being told I got a swoop. So what's a good swoop? Oh yeah, this is the appropriate swoop for this. I'm gonna have some thoughts about this. So yeah, let's hear this. Oh, we're gonna back up a little bit. Are you guys able to hear that? Is that audio coming through? I'm gonna juice it up a little bit to make it a little louder, but are you guys hearing it? No. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Audio. All right, here we go. Can you hear any of that? Did you hear any of the video? Or any of the audio?
You cut quite...
All right, I gotta figure out why that's not coming through.
Oh, you don't fuck.
Well,
Lost your volume, bro.
I'm gonna have to.
Water for the cravers!
Oh, my motherfucking shield, dog.
We won! We whipped the bastards! Victory is ours! We won! Victory! Yeah! Victory!
Fucker.
All right, I don't know why this isn't working. Come on. This is maddening as I'm trying to get this to function here. All right. I'm just trying to see this. All right, just trying to get this fixed because oh my god, why is this not working? Yeah. All right, let's try to get this going. I might have to duck out again here. I'm just trying to get all this working. Okay, let's all right, why is this not working? Why is this not working today? Of all the days to not work, this is not a good day. We might be stuck. We might have to do this part another day because yeah. Input, output. Why is that not working? Voice meter input. Trying to get all this functional right now. Where is this? Okay. Maybe this will work. Maybe I'm pushing buttons. Ha. If you guys hear anything, you
best back off.
If you guys start hearing lawyers arguing. Let me know if you guys hear anything. Ah, come on.
I'm in command.
All right, so we're running into trouble on that. No, it shouldn't be real low. It should be like an actual, it should be coming in strong, not... So I don't know why it normally works, and today it's not working. This is really kind of a kick in the teeth. So, let's see. There's your input, output. Solved here. Where's the input? Why is this not working? Come on. Okay, this is not working. This is not, this is not functional. I don't know why it's not functional. Oh. One second, I'm going to try one more time, and then we're going to, yeah.
We're not looking for a fight.
On my command!
Okay, so, I can't fix it.
Soldiers!
So what we're gonna do is we're going to do a video another time, in order to go over this, because I really want to go over this. I really want to go over this, but I kind of can't without the audio because, yeah, that's a real kick in the teeth, and so I'm a little annoyed by that, but it is what it is. We just gotta roll with what we got. Tech problems, folks. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that one another day, but we're going to also talk about some stuff happening here in Edmonton, and so one of the things that's happening here in Edmonton is a big kerfuffle. We're gonna go over some documents here that has resulted in a bit of a shit show, and so we're gonna do that right now because okay, here we this. All right. Let's see. We're gonna just do that, and boom, and there we go. I'm also going to, if I can, let me just see. Maybe I can do this some other way. I'm just going to try to find a workaround to this particular thing, and the workaround might allow me to do it. So, we'll try this. All right. While we do that, we're going to, while we do this, we're going to see what we can do. Okay. So, PDF maximized, and here we go. Nope, here we go. All right. So, we've got EPS has sent attention Deputy Minister Kimberly Goddard. Now, Kim Goddard is the issue with this is that why is this not working? All right, so the issue on this one is basically that so there's a woman who is looking to plead guilty, and she's looking to plead guilty to a how do I put it? What's called a lesser and included offense. And the lesser and included offense is manslaughter instead of murder. Now, the reason why this has people upset is that she was charged with murder, and the allegations are kind of horrific. involving, it was the murder, like the allegation was murder of a child, and that the child's body was placed into a hockey bag or a duffel bag or something along those lines, and then sort of transported out and disposed of, which, you know, yeah. So EPS got the notion that essentially this was going to be dealt with via, you know, this process, this guilty plea, and for some reason they got the idea that that there was going to be a joint submission for 8 years. EPS is Edmonton Police Service. So the Crown Prosecutor's Office has already issued a denial saying, listen, it is a joint submission or it is a guilty plea to manslaughter instead of murder, but it is not a joint submission. We're not in agreement on the jail time. The prosecution is arguing one thing and the defense is arguing another. And anyway, EPS has taken a very unusual step. And we'll talk about that. So let's pull this up here. I'm still trying to get that audio recording, by the way. So this is from Megan Hankiewicz. I should just note, I knew Megan Hankiewicz in law school, and she's one of those people in law school, and she was also a Crown for a bit, where how do I put this? She was smart as shit. Like, she was super, super smart. And one of these people where you're just like, she's going places. She's gonna, like, she's good at what she does. So she is now chief of the Legal Services Division at Edmonton Police Service, which, you know, you don't get to be by being a slouch. So, says, Dear ADM Goddard, I am taking the extraordinary step today of asking you to review a file pursuant to your jurisdiction under RV Nixon. Now, Nixon is a case which basically says that the Crown prosecution can back out of a deal. They can say, we're not doing it. Notwithstanding the fact that we have come to a deal, we're gonna say no. To review the decisions being made by the prosecuting Crown to resolve an egregious homicide file in a way that we believe would constitute a significant miscarriage of justice. So,
crazy? There
what
it
is
is.
it? The file in question, 230-391-401-Q1, relates to the extreme child abuse and ultimate homicide of a young Indigenous girl. Let's see. Where am I at? Mirage, I'm not sure what you're referring to. So, is that it me? All right. That's a weird comment, but okay. Yeah. Let's see. Our officers conducted an extensive investigation, obtaining significant evidence. You will recall seeing the almost 80-page summary of this investigation. So, the summary is, what is it? You know, the summary is not the full investigation. The summary is just going to be like all of the details of it. And then, you know, there's going to be more detail, like, and then they're going to have like all of the bits of evidence, right? So an 80-page summary is a lot, because I can tell you that usually an 80-page summary, like usually a summary is going to be like 1 page, 2 pages, maybe 8 pages might be an extensive file, but 80 pages of summary is a lot. It's a whole like giant thing, right? This investigation prepared by our homicide detectives, depicting significant child abuse and sufficient evidence to justify our officers' reasonable grounds to charge the accused with first-degree murder. So if you require any additional information, our homicide detectives are more than happy to speak with you. Obviously, we consider this file to be at the very high end of moral culpability. However, to our shock and horror, we were advised that the prosecuting Crown had agreed to accept a guilty plea to manslaughter with an 8-year sentence. It's been reported since that the 8-year sentence is not an accurate detail, that it's just a manslaughter thing. Based on a joint inquiry, we anticipate this to occur this Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. So, in the past. We'll talk about where things sit now as we go. So, our position is that to allow this plea deal to go ahead would be to bring the administration of justice into disrepute and constitute a significant miscarriage of justice. An apt illustration of the inappropriateness of the sentence proposed in this case is a comparison with another child abuse death prosecuted out of the Edmonton Prosecution Office years ago, a time when we were less frequently aghast with prosecutorial decisions. In the Baby M case, another child abuse death, the position of the Crown in that case was 23 to 25 years, while defense sought 7.5 to 16 years. Here, despite the egregious evidence, the 8-year sentence agreed to by the Crown is notably equivalent to the lowest end of the defense submissions in Baby M, half of the high end of defense submissions in that case, and 1/3 of what the Crown then sought. Now, again, the 8-year thing, it's been sort of widely noted, might be not true, right? We don't actually know what the Crown is going to ask for yet. Therefore, we respectfully request that you use your authority, as confirmed by the Supreme Court in Nixon, to review the strength of the evidence and the seriousness of the case, to review the prosecuting Crown's decision, and if you ultimately agree with our assessment that this deal is not proper, to act to resile from the plea agreement. If this case is allowed to go through, or if this plea agreement is allowed to go through, we do not believe that justice will be served. While we maintain hope that this case will see a trial, we will not publicly publish details of the evidence collected so as to avoid the risk of tainting the prospective jury pool. However, if the matter concludes as currently planned, there is no potential jury pool to taint. Therefore, we will share significant information from our investigation with the public so that they can properly assess whether this prosecution and plea agreement were conducted appropriately and advocate in the public forum for a stronger prosecution service. This is kind of a threat, right? This is kind of a do what we say or else. It is trite law that the Crown does not win or lose, but what we expect from the Crown and what you and the public should expect is that the Crown is a zealous advocate for justice. Unfortunately, so far, we have not seen that in this case. If you have any questions or require additional information, please contact me at your convenience. So, here's the thing. We don't know at this stage what the Crown Prosecution Service is going to actually ask for. We do know that they have. Actually accepted a joint, like a guilty plea to manslaughter. And one of the things that has been reported is that the agreed statement of facts. I don't have the agreed statement of facts at this point. I tried to get it, but I don't have it yet. The agreed statement of facts indicates that the death itself happened in a room with no witnesses. And so the problem here becomes, it becomes difficult to prove first-degree murder if nobody saw it happen, right? Now, this one is kind of a, this one's kind of a thing. Because I can tell you that if I reached out to the Crown prosecutors and said, hey, I have embarrassing information that I will release unless you do X, Y, and Z, then they would have some opinions about that. I see people, we need 3 more chats fast. I'm also going to tell you, I don't know how long I'll be able to go. I am running low on gas, I guess is the way to put it. Like my my throat is hurting, my legs are hurting. I'm just feeling... So we'll go, I'm going to go as long as I feel like going, and then we'll stop. But the issue the issue may be that the Crown looked at the case and said, I don't think I can I don't think we can get a, I don't think we can get murder 1, right? I don't think we can get